morning from the Hard Rock Stadium tunnels, and we're ready to go as the Dolphins get set to match up with the Buffalo Bills. The NFL season has hit high gear, and off we go in Week 11 on EA Sports. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
Round 80! Check 52 tomorrow. You got nothing.
LaShawn McCoy, the 31-year-old running back, his first carry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
And they'll keep it on the ground with McCoy. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. And he's going to get this into enemy territory at the 45. That good for 19 and a first down.
And the Bills first down.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Here's Allen. Sliding out of the pocket. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
And they'll need to get to the 35 if they want to keep this drive going on third down. Now Allen. Isaiah McKenzie hauling it in. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Isaiah McKenzie with touchdown number 8 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Stephen Hauschka for the point after. And it's 7-0 Buffalo.
Makes the score Bills 7, Dolphins 0.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
This is Kenyon Drake, the fourth-year man from Alabama. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it.
No gain on the play.
And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Ed Oliver coming right up the gut, gets in there for a loss of 9.
You can't stop me.
Third down.
So now after the sack, 3rd and long, and Fitzpatrick and company a little work to do. 3rd and long for Ryan Fitzpatrick. It's complete to Drake. It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And to be frank, they're just in a tough spot. It's only November, already eliminated from playoff contention. I know their fan base doesn't want to hear that, but that's the case. What are they fighting for now going forward?
You know exactly what they're fighting for. Is that word that some people don't want to hear, but it's pride.
Draft. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was going to go draft, but pride's better, right?
You know something? You're right, because that's part of it, but that's two different mindsets. That's front office mindset, draft position. Where are we going to be and what do we need to get? And then the players and the coaching staff right now, pride. Can they win some games and feel better about themselves despite the fact they have no shot at the playoffs?
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. Give him 18 on that one as the Bills are going to have a first down. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Allen hands off to McCoy. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. McCoy, 5th season with the Bills after those 6 in Philadelphia. And remember, he had 4 of 5 years as a 1,000-yard rusher, but then last season really dipped down, just above 500 yards, only 3 touchdowns. Of course, watch the under a heavy rush, and down he goes. He probably feels like he cannot get a break. He was sacked 7 times last week. And here we go again in the first quarter.
And we always talk about the internal clock of a quarterback in the pocket and how he has to have a real keen sense of it in order to get rid of the football. After being sacked 7 times last week, that clock has been sped up.
On 3rd down, here's McCoy. He's got a first down and much more inside the 20. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. LaShawn McCoy, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Bills will add on to their lead.
Well, partner, that was another explosive run, and one thing I've learned in our time in this game, yes, the offensive line has to get a lot of credit, but for big runs to occur, the wide receivers have to block well downfield.
And then you have to have a good guy carrying the ball too, right?
Oh, without a doubt. You need that difference maker lugging the rock.
Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Now Drake trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
It's 180! 53 is the mic. Stay with your man.
On 3rd down, Fitzpatrick. And the Bills are going to get him as he goes down. Ed Oliver able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. And this one goes sailing out of bounds. Where did it cross? Well, they're going to say on this side of midfield.
Where's 19? 52. 52's the mic. Come on, boy. Come on, boy.
Throwing on first down is Allen. The throw on target to his receiver, McKenzie. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. 10 yards, good enough for a Buffalo first down. That's what we're used to seeing from him right there. Plays like that, why he's number 4 in the league in terms of receiving yardage.
Able to make adjustments all along the way. Doesn't matter where he lines up, where he releases from. Working his way into the secondary, figures out defenses and finds weak spots in order to get open. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he'll get this down close to a first down at about the Dolphins' 30.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Watch the screen, watch the screen, watch the screen.
They'll try and run for it with McCoy. Shifts by him at the 25. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down. You talked about the need for them to establish the run early. They've been able to do that here in the first half.
And that means that the whole offense has adopted that attitude and that persona. We're going to take care of this young quarterback. Let's all get together and run it and take the pressure off.
Able to fight for about 4 yards there to the 13.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
On second down now, it's McCoy. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
Well, with the kind of half he's had, I think we can forgive him that run, right? Not every run's going to be a big play, is it?
No, and also the blocking just wasn't there. No room to run.
Yeah, defensively, they got to find a way to build on that because he's eating them alive in the first half.
And he'll get inside the 10, but he's short of the line he needed. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and it'll bring up a fourth down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
And the 11-year veteran bangs it through, and the lead will grow. It's now 17-0. That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. And, yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
Well, no, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
And you're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game. The energy level hasn't been there right from the start. We've noticed that. They've got to find a way to get on their toes and start punching instead of retreating, to use a boxing analogy.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Fitzpatrick now. And he hits Drake. And they'll get it all the way up about 5 yards shy of midfield. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover. The angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
Now the former 4th-round pick, it's Kalen Ballage. And he'll take it across midfield and into Buffalo territory.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
third and short yardage. Fitzpatrick nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Matt Milano coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on to punt for Miami. And he uncorks a beauty. Best of the day. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him in contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him in contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe bashed
that. Super toe.
Here we go.
On second down, it's McCoy. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1. The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've been good. 3 for 4 thus far. They're looking at 3rd and a few inches. It's the former Hurricane great, Frank Gore. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
First down, Bills.
Round 80. Right here. Double tight, guys, double tight. Everyone, you got 4.
Now Allen off the bootleg. He'll buy some time right. He finds an opening past the 40 on the crossing route, complete. It's McKenzie, and he'll finally be taken down just shy of midfield. An excellent pickup of 20 yards. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On first down, it's Gore. He's got a first down and then some inside the 40 and down to the 29-yard line. That good for 22 and a first down.
We both know it's difficult, but they've made it look effortless out there. Through the air, on the ground, they've moved the ball with relative ease.
Gotta do better. Come on, QB, come on.
Here's Allen on 1st and 10. Over the middle, complete. That's McKenzie. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. This defense could use a few more plays like that right now.
It certainly could, but think about it from an offense's perspective right now. They've got a lead, but they don't want to throttle down too much and stall themselves. Still want to move at a nice pace.
Allen going to try and throw on 3rd down. And that will be incomplete. That is the first time that they've targeted him that he has not come down with a catch.
He's caught everything that's been thrown his way. A dominant pass receiver that can break down any defense, because when he's doing that kind of work, it really hurts you on the back end.
And even though it's an incompletion there, I think they're going back to that well. Still a little bit of time left here in the second quarter, but they do get 3 before the half and expand that lead.
And they have to be happy about that. And we haven't met a team yet that doesn't put an emphasis on trying to get points on the board in the last 2 minutes of a half. They'll be real excited to have those up on the board.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. So far they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes if you have a game where neither side has scored, 3 punts isn't a bad thing. But when you're trying to set the pace, get up on top in a game, you've got to show better offense and find a way to put some points on the board.
So we reach halftime in what's been a fairly one-sided game so far, as we send you up to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive that kind of kickstarts them.
Here we go.
Right back to Drake. And they're going to get him behind the line yet again as his nightmare afternoon continues. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
First down. First and 10 at the 35-yard line.
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on first and 10.
You better bring it. I'm letting you know right now, you better bring it.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. And the offensive penalty has us back where we started as they come up on a first and 10. Counterplay, Drake. And he will lose yardage here to the 31-yard line. Yikes, a 4-yard loss really sets him back now for second down.
Check 20. Check 53's mine. Come on.
They'll try to throw here, Fitzpatrick. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a second and long following the holding penalty. Now Fitzpatrick. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Drake. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Fitzpatrick to throw it. He'll set up the screen to Drake. And they stop him up short of the first down as they get him at about the 43. The screen does get him 9, but it also brings up a fourth down.
They dialed up the screen pass on third down, and for a second it looked like it was all going to come together, and they had a chance to pick up a first down, but the defense got there and finished it off.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complimentary football, because them doing that Puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
They'll try and start the drive here with Gore. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. It's a gain of 13 and a Buffalo first down.
Partner, if you want more carries, I think we saw how you get him. Showed that he's got the fresh legs, and he picked up the first down on that run. Don't just ask for him. Show him that you're supposed to get the football.
So a much rosier picture now after that last play. Here's 1st and 10 at the 19-yard line. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Now on 2nd down, this is Gore. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
On 3rd down, they'll run with Gore. And he'll get this to the 23, but that'll be well short of what he needed. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return, and it'll be Dolphin football. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On 1st down, Drake. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
They stay on the ground with Drake. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Maybe a gain of a yard that time, but yeah, from the spot, actually no gain. So 3rd and long. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Running, it's Drake. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. 2 yards on the pickup there. It's 4th down. Here's Matt Hawk now as he's on for the 5th time here today. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the 3rd quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
Here's Allen to throw it. And this is incomplete. He was waving as hard as wanted the football, but he dropped it. And that reminds me of a story you told me from your days at Tennessee. We don't need to mention the other guy's name, but when he dropped an open pass that you blew coverage on, what'd you say to him?
Yeah, it's really not right since I blew coverage, but since he dropped the pass, I said, well, maybe next time he'll just walk it out here and hand it to you. Would that be easier? He wasn't real thrilled with that answer.
That's cold-blooded. Cold-blooded. On second down now, Gore. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming. On third and long, it's Allen. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the number one thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
Here's Ryan Allen now, standing just outside his own goal line. His first punt, 48 yards. This one looks equally as good. That's taken inside his own 40. They'll get 9 yards on the return there following a punt of 42. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Back now in Miami. It's Dolphin football, but they trail here as we get set for the 4th. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Fitzpatrick. That's Stills bringing it in. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
That's good.
Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
Finally, a first red zone opportunity for these guys. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the gun, it's Drake. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Fitzpatrick. And this is Parker, complete. First target, first catch, and a 1st down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like he said, listen, we're going to...
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Kenyon Drake, his first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins are able to cut into this lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Extra point up and good by Sanders, and that cuts this lead down to 13. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this across the 25, couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. Now a stoppage here as we've got a Bill shaken up on the play. We'll get an update when we come back to Miami. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags. And I believe this is going to be a 1st down.
Let's go, boys. Let's go.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. following the penalty. It's Gore. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Yeah, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still attacking, yet at the same time not going so.
Allen hit. He lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, the teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Allen now looks to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's McKenzie. He went over 100 yards in the wild card round. He's over 100 here as well. And a first down. Quite the turnaround from a week ago where he threw 4 interceptions. He hasn't had an interception this game, and he told us during the week, my goal, goose egg. He's achieving that so far.
And what we're seeing is a guy that you can win with, all right? Because anyone who can make that type of an adjustment to shake off a really horrendous week the week before and come back and play mistake-free football to this point, yeah, that's a guy I want to play with, that's for sure.
So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. And here's carry number 10 for Frank Gore. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we?
And this is caught for a Bills touchdown. Tyler Kroft, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Bills will add on to their lead. A nice throw there by the second-year quarterback.
And I don't believe that was the kind of play he would have made as a rookie. Because usually your rookie season is a continuation of your college days. A lot of one read, and if you don't have it, you just take off and go. Now he's settled in the pocket a little bit more, reading the field and getting to his 2nd and sometimes 3rd progression. That was a nice play.
Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. Hauschka now for the extra point. And that one pushes the lead up to an even 20. Hauschka now to send this one away following the score. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now 2nd and 10 at the 25-yard line.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. To throw again. Fitzpatrick. Caught. It's Wilson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The Dolphins on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he finds Stills, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A Miami first down on the 14-yard pickup.
First and 10 at the 42-yard line.
Now a draw play with Drake. And he'll take this for about 4 up to the 46-yard line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Fitzpatrick. He'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. The Miami first down, that one going for a gain of 11. We are inside of 2 minutes left in this lopsided affair.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Fitzpatrick now to throw on 1st down. He gets it into the arms of Parker, complete. Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a 1st down.
12 more yards. That's another Dolphins first down.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And down he goes. Fitzpatrick sacked.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing Fitzpatrick. Stepping up. He's going to keep it. Pretty nice gain on the scramble. Gets him 12 yards. I thought they were going to sack him there like they did on 1st down. Great coverage, but he found a way to move with his legs.
Yeah, his ability to take off. Not only did he get some yardage back, he got a little bit extra. Really helps him on 3rd down. Makes it manageable now.
To throw on 3rd down. Fitzpatrick. Wilson's got it complete. And down inside the 15 he goes. And he's got a 1st down as a tackle made at the Bills' 14.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs as we just saw them.
And he's not able to get away. Sacked back at the 22. Matt Milano picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. So it's a victory here for the Buffalo Bills. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away. Well, what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that, not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for the Bills, it's a win they needed, if for nothing else in their sanity, as they move to 4-6. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, add one more loss to the column. That drops them to a woeful 1-9 so far. And they'll try to get back on the beam next week as they'll head to Cleveland to take on the Browns. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.